this is a really inspiring talk about where all the places I failed. By the way, if this were a podcast about failure, and I will talk a lot about failure today, I am masterful at swinging the bat and going down and swinging. Like, I think failure is like one of the most important things you can do as you go through this, this process that we call life.
Well, I definitely want to talk about that because I think it's, it's on everyone's minds. We have there's this narrative right now in society about failure and what it means and learning. And, sometimes I wonder, like, how much is that really changing people's attitudes?
Well, our entire culture now is defined by people's success.
Exactly.
You're 20 whatever years old. Everyone calls himself an entrepreneur. This is a podcast about being an entrepreneur, so you know this probably better than anybody. The kids all need to have a $4 million valuation before they even figure out what product they even have.
Right.
And it seems like if you don't know what to do with yourself or what to call your life, you just call yourself an entrepreneur.
Sure.
And I have entrepreneured. We'll talk about a lot of that entrepreneuring stuff that I've done. And you're making up so much stuff as you go along. You really have to have big fucking stones to be an entrepreneur. The role that sort of even brought me in here today to talk about part of what we'll get into is, I'm in a non-entrepreneurial role at the moment that is highly entrepreneurial. Meaning I get I have a paid salary by a company to come in and figure shit out.
Right.
I'm really good at doing that. So I don't mind taking the money and taking the time to help out other brands and other people. But I won't do it. I mean, I worked at Nike for a bunch of years, and I'm not going to sit here and slam a $28 billion company. But there's not one person that sits in that desk at that company that has one entrepreneurial cell in their body. Because you work at Nike, right? I mean, you could take a bag of glass and put a swoosh on it. You'll probably sell a couple million of them.
I imagine they have.
Yeah.
Probably with Supreme.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, that's a perfect example. When Supreme did that brick about a couple of years ago, everyone was taking a swipe at him. I'm like, this is the best idea I've ever heard, where these guys are actually sort of taking the piss out of themselves now.
Sure.
All right, but we're talking about being an entrepreneur. But it feels to me like the spirit of being an entrepreneur has been completely whitewashed in our sort of 21st century digital, millennial, whatever. What are all the modifying adjectives you would throw into our current culture? It seems like it's made very glamorous.
Sure.
I just read. Have you read Phil Knight's book? Or I'm sure you know.
Shoe Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You read that one.
Yeah.
So you don't even have any idea how many times that guy almost shat the bed with that company.
Yeah.
I worked there for a bunch of years. As you walk into the main entrance of Nike, there's this beautiful sort of Japanese rock water garden, and the rocks represent the rocky path of the start of the company. And I'm like, oh, what a great story. And then I'd walk over it every day, going to my desk with my salary job and my 401k and all that stuff. I knew what Phil had done, but I had no idea, no fucking clue how many times that guy almost flamed out and crashed that company.